my darlings, let's dive in to your reading. I have some oracle cards out and they are looking really nice. We've got love life, spiritual partnership, follow your dreams, lessons and blessings. Now I'm going to go in with the tarot, but let me tell you what this shows me straight away. I'm looking at a real love in your life, getting ready to kind of blossom and birth, but it's based on your spirituality. So I don't know if you've got a newfound love for spirituality or religion or belief. It could be a person. Some of you, it's a man, a pastor, like a spiritualist, an evangelist, a man who is very spiritual, who has just come into your life and is teaching you about spirituality, and you are falling in love with him. If that is the question, I'll be very careful about that, because this man has had years of spiritual work that you haven't had, and although the love can be there, you've got to make sure you're falling in love with the right thing, because he is not easily going to give his heart to you as you fall into love with spirit and fall in love with him, because he's teaching you it. There's got to be a difference. Do you love him or do you love what he's teaching you? Yeah, understanding the difference is the most important. But you have to follow your dreams if you feel guided this way and you feel guided to follow this man. There are lessons to learn, there are blessings to come in here, but you have to have discipline. And sometimes in relationships, you meet people straight away and they offer you something amazing, make you feel great. And suddenly you feel like that's it. It's them. You're meant to be with them. I'm in love with this person. You're in love with the idea of them. You're in love with what they offer you. You're in love with how they make you feel. Are you in love with them? Do you understand their way of life, who they really are, what they're really doing, what they're really accustomed to, and how they intend to carry on for a lengthy period of time for this foreseeable future? Are you ready to ride that journey and understand the long term? Because I'm either connecting with a super spiritual masculine Aries or a feminine Aries who is looking at this masculine as the be and all. If you are the spiritual masculine here, then you're very, very powerful and you're not settling for anything less. You want a strong, forthright spiritual woman. And to be honest, you do want to teach her. You do, because you're a teacher, you do want to teach your philosophies, but you don't want someone who is just with you to crave and desire. Like, it gives me a disciple, a follower. Yeah, you want someone who sets their own trends, who trails their own path. I mean, I'm getting a lot of pastor energy. I mean, pastor and wife vibes a little bit here. It's like, do you want to take on a woman? These are your options, right? Do you want to take on a woman that is just under your thumb and falls in line, does whatever you say and becomes literally a shard of you, a piece of you? And a variable that stems from your unique source code. I'm getting nerdy now, so I don't know if you guys are very into computers, but I'm going to pull it back because I'm doing a lot of work in between this in tech. Sorry, guys. But my point being is there is all of this. This person will either fall in to the standard code of ways that things are, or you get someone who has their own and they stand beside you uniquely and powerful. Sometimes you get a trophy wife, or you get a what's the opposite to a trophy wife? A pageant mum, I get in my head. You know, a pageant mum is powering their kids forward. Come on, you can do it. They're training their kids in gymnastics, in talent, in whatever the skill is. They're a coach and they're coaching their child to be the most successful. They want their child to win. Their child is their trophy in that sense. But from the masculine sense, the masculine would often look for a trophy themselves. Who can be on my mantelpiece? Who's going to be on my arm? Who's going to be beside me? So it's those two energies here. I feel like the masculine would benefit from more of a pageant mum, someone who's a go-getter, a coacher, someone who can guide someone else. Because then they can guide you when you're down, because the masculine's not always going to be in high vibes. Regardless of how powerful you are, how enlightened you are, how much of a pastor you are, how godly you are, you have moments of weakness. You have sadness. You need someone who can lift you up. And if you are taking on a trophy wife, someone just on your arm because they're a cute little thing for the moment, or a cute little thing that would age nicely, then the truth of the matter is the struggle with that, because when you're down and out and broken, your trophy can't move. Your trophy needs you to move. You polish up your trophy. You fill your trophy up with what it needs. You place your trophy on where it thinks it should go. The trophy's only there to hook to your arm. So when your arms are down and you can't move and you're weighted, your trophy can't do fuck all. Whereas you get yourself a pageant mum, weird analogy I'm using today, but you get yourself a pageant mum, and boy does she know what to do. Independent, forthright, go-getter, and running the show. Nice. I'm more of a pageant mum, maybe you can tell. That's why I'm like rooting for the pageant mum over here. If you're dating two people at this time, you've got a pageant mum option and you've got a trophy wife option, then I'm always going to root for the pageant mum. Sorry, I'm always going to root for someone who's got that articulation, that coaching ability, that grit, that desire, that passion, that just kicking someone up the arse to motivate them. And compared to someone else who's just walking around and smiling and waving, hi, I look cute today. Yes, I look cute, but I wouldn't be looking this cute if I didn't have this man on my arm providing the coin. What would I have to show for myself? What would I have to give? What do I genuinely know and offer independently on my own, separate to that masculine energy that is bolstering me up and placing me on that mantelpiece? Because what good is a trophy without a mantle? Might as well put it outside next to the trash. Is anyone looking at a trophy that's on the floor? Is anyone looking at a trophy that's anywhere else other than right next to the prize, right? What good is, like, in my head, a scholarship, when you go up and you get your graduation piece of paper? What good is that paper and that scroll other than the moment that you really go and collect it on stage? Once you're off stage, that paper, it ain't really shit, because the knowledge is truly ingrained in you. The knowledge is in you. What you do with that, how you write that shit on your CV, how you actualize that and use those experiences to get a good job that actually pays you well, that's different. You get your new job, half the time nowadays, they don't even really need to, they're not going to look at the scroll, really, are they? They're just going to want proof that you actually got the qualifications that you claim you have, take a screenshot of it, send it in so we can bang it on our file, and off we go. Got the job, now let's see it in practice. Do you get what I mean? So when you're going around getting a little trophy for the arm, in practice, that ain't always going to wash well. Whereas over here, we've got the pageant mum who is practicing every single day with no desire to be a trophy, but to collect more trophies in different arenas. And that's more beneficial, right? I hope you can take the context of this conversation and link it to where it needs to go, because it is important, you know, about how we look at other individuals and pros and cons of relationships. But let's dive in, because we haven't hit the tarot. Magician's out straight away. Very nice. It's talking to me about manifesting. What do you want to manifest? Oh, yeah. This is the devil card's out on top of that. Now, when the devil card comes out, it's nothing to fear or be scared of, but it is an outright ownership of a toxic way of thinking, toxic habits in the past. In the past, Aries, I can see that potentially you were really, really attracted to the trophy type, yeah? And in my head, I get visions now of wags. Haven't used that term in ages. It's not even a thing anymore. But oh my God, footballers' wives. Oh my God, everyone wants to be a wag. Spend your whole life trying to be a wag. I mean, it's just like, really? I mean, half the time your man's away playing away games. He's not really around. He's only got a limited time in that sector in career before he's too old to even do the job. Footballers' retirement age is much younger than most of the industries that are out there already. So it's pretty embarrassing if you are a woman that you're throwing all your fucking eggs in the basket for a man who's going to be retired on a fucking shitty low rent salary at that, unless he's Ronaldo, before the age of 35. 35 and you're retiring to what? To do what? Because unless you're smart enough to have your money sprinkled across the arena in a range of other sectors, footballers are not doing it as big as you think they are. But yet everyone's ambition back in the day, 2 decades ago, was to be the wag. Do you get what I mean? What's the point of that? So once again, that's the toxic trait. So it looks all nice on the surface. Oh, that's a great thing to do. Why don't I just dress up and go out and bag myself a footballer so I can get the coin and get a trophy life? I mean, we could speak to what's her name, Colleen Rooney, and what's her name, Rebecca Vardy's missus, and truly be like, wow, okay, well, didn't really end up being what it meant to be, did it? I mean, Abby Clancy is an example of probably the most decent wag out there at this time that's still actually doing something with her husband. Is it Clancy? Yeah, her and Crouch. But other than that, when you really, really think about the sector and what's gone on and all the attention around it, and some of the greatest ballers out there, I mean, where are they now? What is their financial standing now? Majority of it didn't stem from football. So being a wag isn't the cutest thing. Being a basketball wife isn't the cutest thing. Aim to be more. Aim to do more. Whoever I'm connecting with, aim to date someone who wants more other than just being with you because you've got coin. Because you look sexy. Oh, I'm going to be with this guy because he's so sexy and it makes me feel sexy to be with him. But when you're not with him, you're still you and you look busted, babe. do you get what I mean? That's so rude. But like, do you get the point? Like, it's like, oh, you're going to be with him because he's got millions. But when you're not with him, you're broke still and you've got no money. So it's it's my brain's just like, do you get it? It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Try and go for someone, or go for something that is more in line with self. Have some self-discipline as well, instead of chasing something that is just for instant gratification or material gain. Or yeah, we all want someone who looks good. I'm saying all of this, and I'm not going to date someone who's I'm not going to choose to date someone who's homeless and broke, am I? Who looks like dog shit. No, I'm not. Duh. We all attracted to someone and want to be with someone sexy and abundant. But that doesn't always come in the shape and form that you think it does, is my point. Yeah? Other ways to get what you want. Other ways to fall in love. Other ways to be happy. Other ways to manifest the life that you want, right? Yeah. It's about opening up your emotions a little bit more and understanding what it means to truly, truly love. Yeah, because we all talk about love and being in love, settle down and get married. Do you know how many high-flying men that exist that just get a wife for the sake of getting a wife and don't know love? Don't even care to know love, and then leave their wives longing for intimacy and love and fulfillment. And okay, your husband's working all the time, you get the rare moment that you get to travel and go away on holiday, and in that moment all the love that you've been missing for the 6 months of the year, you're supposed to catch up with now on the 2-week vacay you've got, with or without the kids. Do you get what I mean? And it's like, we haven't been together all of this time, and finally after 6 months of you working relentlessly day and night, we get some quality time. 2 weeks of loving, and then we're back to the same reality that we've been in. How fulfilled can that woman truly be? Works both ways as well. I like to think that the pendulum is going to swing massively over the next decade, and we're going to have loads of stay-at-home men. Loads of men staying at home, looking after the kids, longing for a kiss from their missus while she is busy making that coin. I mean, that's what I would like to see over the next decade, to be honest with you. Real feminine power players making it work, picking up some trophy men for their arm. Okay, I'm losing train of thought because it's making me laugh, but let's keep going, shall we? It's just the point is there's got to be a balance in the connection, and I know I'm being really stereotypical today, but whoever I'm connecting with, it's really suggesting, please don't take offense to this, but it really is suggesting that you've been living a very stereotypical life up until now. And you've been making really stereotypical choices, and you've been going for the trophies, and you've been going for the wags, or you've been desiring to be a wag, and whatever options or things that you want in your life, they've really been come from a really stereotypical place, you know. So it's kind of like, I feel like you're gonna wow. In my head, right, I paused before I said this because it sounded a bit cheeky, and I feel like maybe you're older than me who I'm connecting with. But it's like you have to grow up with your investments. You have to grow up. And it feels rude for me to suggest that you need to grow up. So stay with me as I break that down, because that's not in your everyday terminology. This is the grey matter of the conversation, right? It's really growing up in the grey. You've grown up with the black and the white light, and we always say life isn't black and white. You've seen the white of the situation, you've seen the black of the situation. Now all you're missing, my love, is the grey. What's the grey area? Because that grey area, if you look on the icon on this channel, well, that's the alienism, isn't it? That's the psyche, that's the true self, that's the higher consciousness, that's the paradox point. Yeah, that's the consensus mechanism, if we can even say it like that. But I don't want to lose you all over here. Either way, there's a real awareness, a real shift in your knowledge, right? That is just saying, hey, I didn't see this clearly before. I wasn't aware of all of this before, but now I see. And this time, next time, moving forward from today, I'm going to go within a little bit more. I'm going to take a little more time to think this through. I'm going to make sure I don't make the same mistakes as the past. I'm clear about who I am and what I want in my life. I'm clear of what hasn't worked for me in the past. I know what I want to attract now. Some of you guys, this is I feel like I'm connecting with a masculine who has been divorced for a while or separated from your wife, hasn't worked for ages. I just feel like you've long been unfulfilled, both of you, in that connection. You may relate to the example that I gave about those 6 months and just going on vacay now and then, spending most of your time working, but now you've kind of come to being alone, and it's a wake-up call for you, because you didn't really think that you would be alone in this sense, and now being alone in this sense has left you pondering how you don't be alone in the future again. But you don't want to go and just pick up a trophy wife, or you don't even necessarily want to pick up a pageant mum, if we say it like that, right? But you do want something. But it's, once again, what is the grey of the situation then, and how do you find that something that you want? Where do you look? Yeah, you've got to find the naked truth of who you are to understand what you want. And I think there's a lot more emotions that you're willing to open up to. I think you've learned so much through what you've been through in the past. I feel like a lot of men can be really unemotional. Often, that's not always true, right? But for whoever I'm connecting with, you seem like quite a high-ranking individual, and I get masculine energy. So from the career and sector I feel like you come from, you wouldn't really be really emotional, but I feel like you've learned a lot. And I want to let you know that if this is you and you are resonating, firstly, hit the like, but secondly, understand that vulnerability and opening your heart and being a lot more emotional and intimate, although it may be a hard habit to break, would open you up to so much more healing and abundance and wealth. Financial wealth as well comes from emotional awareness. I want to say emotive communication, emotive language. You truly learn about self, your higher self, your ability to connect, your ability to master and manifest, truly come from loving emotively and having emotive conversations. So you want connections with with an other, with a partner that can take you to emotive places and stir the parts of you that often fall asleep, right? Because in relationships, let's be honest, right? I can say this from with my business head on firm. Some relationships can get so boring and stale, right? And you need someone who can wake your chakras up, stimulate you enough sexually, motivate you enough energetically in conversation, through personality, humor, action, personal interests, similarities. Just there's got to be enough there that stirs you internally when you're up or down or in between, that keeps you circling from the black and the white into the grey. Because you have a relationship that's too light, too white, then it's just going to stay there. And that's the yin and the yang of the situation. Same, a relationship's too black, right? And this is not skin color, don't get confused, guys. And the yin and yang of the situation, then you're just stagnant there as well on either side of the spectrum, black or white, light or dark, yeah? Yin or yang, positive or negative. So you've got to find the grey of the situation so that things can flow more optimally. That's how we channel our chi and we use our energy to manifest. That's how love really manifests into our lives in healthy, wholesome ways that's rich and long-lasting. Otherwise, once again, we're just having long-term relationships and fucking signing on wedding certificates, just for wearing a wedding band just for the sake of it. Just to walk around in the matrix. Yeah, just to fall in line to that 0101. So much more we could be doing and should be doing in our lives. So we need to open up our hearts and allow there to be space for that to truly manifest. Yeah? So I hope that found you well, collective, and I'll be back soon with more Aries. Please do hit like and subscribe.